The dust rose in trembling clouds above the plain of Marathon as the dawn broke, streaking the sky with lines of rose and gold. Miltiades, the Athenian general, stood with his cloak wrapped tightly around him, scanning the Persian lines that glittered like a dark river in the morning light. They had come, these Persians, in countless numbers. Herodotus would say 100,000, though perhaps they were less. Still, to the men of Athens, who numbered fewer than 10,000, they seemed like the sea itself, endless and cold. Among the Athenian ranks stood Pheidippides, the long-distance runner, who had carried the desperate plea to Sparta days before, his feet blistered from the road, begging for aid that had not yet come. Now he gripped his spear, standing beside farmers, potters, and smiths who had answered the call to defend their city. Miltiades knew the terrain was their only advantage. The Persians were trapped between the marshes and the sea, unable to unleash the full force of their cavalry. The Athenians thinned their center and thickened their flanks, a bold move that many whispered was madness. Miltiades only nodded, looking at the men whose eyes were wide with fear and fire. "Today," he said, loud enough for the front ranks to hear, "you fight not for Athens alone, but for Greece, for freedom, for the memory of your fathers and the lives of your children." The horn sounded. The Athenians advanced, not at a slow march, but at a run. Shields and spears rattling, feet pounding on the dry earth, the cry of "Elelu!" tearing the morning air. They closed the gap quickly, before the Persian archers could decimate them, and crashed into the enemy line. The clash was like a wave striking rock. Spears thrust, shields splintered, men screamed and fell. The Persians, unprepared for the ferocity of the charge, wavered. The Athenian wings closed around them, driving them back toward the sea. Bodies fell into the marshes, and the Persians turned in panic, fleeing for their ships. The battle was over almost as swiftly as it had begun. The Athenians, breathless, bloodied, and trembling, realized what they had done. They had defeated the Persians, broken their illusion of invincibility, and defended their home. Miltiades ordered the bodies of the fallen Athenians to be buried in a mound on the plain, so that all who came after would know where free men had stood and fought. Then Pheidippides, weary but unwavering, was tasked with one final run. From Marathon, he set off toward Athens, his legs burning, lungs gasping, the dust of the plain still clinging to his skin. He reached the city, stumbled before the assembly, and with the last of his breath he cried, "Nenikikamen! We have won!" And with those words, Pheidippides fell, his heart stopping, leaving behind a message that would echo through history, that free men, standing together, could defy the might of empires,